Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you in to coverage of the 2025 Tournament of Heroes. In our second game of a packed weekend schedule, the Lions of Georgian University take on the Spartans of St. Thomas Aquinas College. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, once again joined by Nicholas Pavona. And Nick, our first game saw Assumption University knock off Chestnut Hill College. The Greyhounds, with suffocating defense and highly efficient shooting, able to pick up the win. The Griffins battled back in the second half, got as close as 15, but never really threatened that Greyhounds lead. Our second game of the night features the Spartans and the Lions coming in. What do we know about these two teams? Of course, you and I, very familiar with the Spartans as they are a part of the East Coast Conference. So let's start with the Lions. What do we know about Georgian coming in?
Well, first off, Joe, for Georgian coming in this game, this was their first official game of the season. They did, however, play an exhibition game a couple weeks ago. They took on Division I's William and Mary in that game. But overall, for Georgia last season, they went 6-21 on the season. They lost to this same Stack team back in December, 91-74 in that game. Lifetime against the Spartans, they are 1-5 versus Stack, with their last win coming in 2015. Two key players, though, to look out for in this game, Joe. First off, Cam Edmonds. You look at the numbers on the paper, it's, really, really impressive numbers that he had last season. 23.8 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, shot about 41% from the field, 79% from the free throw line. And in that game against Stack last season, he put up 30 points in that game, and he had 3 games as well with 40 points in during the season. So he is a very capable scorer for this Lions team. And Donovan Crawford as well is a capable scorer too, 11.6 points per game, shooting 36.9% from the field. And then you turn your attention towards Stack. Last year, great markers. You and I both firsthand saw it. 25-10 on the season. They went all the way to the ECC championship game before losing to Damon in that game. And I mentioned it in our first broadcast. They made it all the way to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament. They lost to the team that we saw in Game 1, the winner of Game 1, that being Assumption. Some of their big players back. Derek James, 11.3 points per game last season, 4.7 assists per game, shooting 42.6% from the field, 76.9% from the free throw line. But here's the other thing, too, Joe, that I think is something that we need to know for this game. The top 4 scorers from last season's Stack team are all gone from this roster. So I'm curious, and I mentioned this at the end of the last game, I'm curious to see who is going to be that next man up mentality for Stack coming into the season. You have a couple of guys from last year's team returning, Michael Perota, Jordan Green, Kyle Rivera, all returning. But who is going to fill in that production for Stack coming into the season after losing all of that scoring from last year?
Well, taking a look at Stack first, they shot around 45% from the field as a team. That is, of course, an impressive number. Just 31% from downtown last year. So they weren't a team that would light up the scoreboard from beyond the arc. Looking on the other side, Georgian from the field, shooting around 39% and just 30% from downtown. As a team, they allowed 46% shooting to opponents and 33% from downtown. So I think the Lions need to be a bit better defensively. And you mentioned it. They'll be tasked with slowing down a Stack team that was really efficient last year. But this is a roster that, though they were efficient last year, they look very, very different. And, Nick, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, this is, of course, the McDonald's pregame show. McDonald's, our scoreboard sponsor here at the College of Staten Island, bringing you our pregame coverage each and every CSI Dolphins home game. And in the case of our Tournament of Heroes, all weekend long for both CSI's games and the other games that will take place here at the tank. But, Nick, we have about 50 seconds until starting lineups are introduced. Final thoughts before we meet the starters.
I think this is going to be an interesting game, Joe, because last year was a 91-74 win for Stack in that game. But watching what Cam Edwards did for the majority of last season, you have to look at this game and seeing what he's capable of and scoring here tonight. Don't be surprised if he puts up another 30 points for this Georgia team to try to pull off what a lot of people, including maybe you and I, both consider to be maybe an upset considering how good this Stack team was last season.
Dolphins faced Stack, of course, twice last year, and I think if I recall, it was the first meeting between these two teams that really came down to the wire here at the College of Staten Island. And time again, what you would see from the Stack team is they know how to close games. And they closed out a win over the College of Staten Island, a game where the Dolphins very much had a chance to take a win on their home floor against the Spartans. Could not secure it here at home, and the Spartans came away from the tank with a win. I do believe that was the first meeting last year, but I'd have to double check that. Either way, this Stack team always fun to watch, and they face a Lions team that will be looking to make some noise with a win early in the season. First game for both teams. Starters about to take the floor. Nick, you have the starting lineups for both teams in front of you.
And we'll start off first with the visitors, that being Georgian Court. We'll start off with, of course, Cameron Edmonds. I mentioned earlier on what he did last season, as well as Donovan Crawford, Amar Lane. You have Jason Tucci, and then you have Anthony Rivera. That rounds out the Lions lineup in this game. For Stack in this game, you have 1 second, Sterl Hearns starting in their lineup. Then you have number 4, William Landry the second. Number 6, Derek James. Number 8, Jordan Green. And rounding out the lineup is number 12, Joshua Michigan, starting lineup for the Spartans here in their first game of the season.
Starters continue to be introduced out on the floor. I do not believe we are going to have an anthem ahead of this game, so we will stay right here. And Nick, we mentioned it during game 1, how big of a role turnovers played and how sometimes early in the season teams might be a bit more sloppy than is characteristic of them, trying to find their footing in game number 1. Both of these teams playing this game on the floor at a neutral site, so that's something to factor in as well. And I think that lends itself to perhaps a bit of an advantage for the team that travels better, just a bit. A lot of very vocal fans behind us as well here as the tank, and the aspiring officials always make their voices heard. But what are you looking for from this matchup? You mentioned for Stack last year, it was a win by double digits over Georgian Court. I think it goes without saying the Spartans need to slow down Cam Edmonds, Donovan Crawford. That's over 34 points of scoring between two players, but is there an advantage for Georgian Court coming in terms of the familiarity of their roster with one another, perhaps? Or do the Spartans, carrying that pedigree and a deep run into the NCAA tournament last year, do they hold the advantage coming in sheerly by their pedigree as a program?
I think, for me, I like the opportunity for Georgian Court in this game to maybe steal this one away, because they bring back a lot of their players from last season, including their top 2 scorers in Edmonds and Crawford. And for Stack, as I mentioned, the difference maker of this team is going to be who is going to be that top-tier scorer. Is Derek James going to take the step up from last season? We saw Jordan Green a little bit last year as well for this team. Is he going to be that next man mentality up for this Stack lineup? I think just because of how many players Stack lost and how big they were in terms of scoring, and they bring back only 5 players from last year's team as well. So this is a different identity for Stack. The pedigree is certainly there. The question is going to be who is going to be that guy that is going to be the essential top guy for this offense and try to lead them to more wins in the ECC this season.
Well, the Dolphins will have a close eye on this game. They are going to see Stack later this season twice. They are going to see Georgian Court as well later this season. So this game of note to the Dolphins, looking ahead just a bit, but they have a tall task in front of them tonight as they will take on St. Michael's College in our final game of the evening coming up next. But first, it is the Spartans and the Lions here on CSI Sportsnet. We welcome in our ECC audience supporting the Spartans. Of course, the Spartans on Flow College along with the College of Staten Island, but for Georgian Court, their fans may not be accustomed to having to pay to watch these games and having to tune in on a paid stream via Flow College. We thank all of the GCU supporters who have chosen to join us this evening. We will make it worth your while here on CSI Sportsnet as we're just moments away from tip-off.
And they've been a part of some memorable calls for us on CSI Sportsnet the last couple of years.
There have been now 10 years of memorable calls for me. It's really hard to pick out those individual games at this point, as the Lions win the tip and control it.
Well, I believe that was your first remote broadcast game.
It was my first remote broadcast. Baseball versus GCU from Claremont, Florida. But that's a story for another time as the Lions work it around the perimeter. Kick out into the corner. And that shot a bit strong by Amari Lane. Foul called against the Lions as the Spartans looked to push. It was Sterrell Hearns drawing the contact on the reach.
And I think another ththing, too, that I'm watching for Sack in this game is who's going to be the guy that's going to be posting up on Edmonds in this game. I mentioned he put up 30 points in that game last year between the two teams. But as I also mentioned, too, he had 3 separate occasions where he scored 40 points in a game. So he is someone that you might have to double team at some points when he has the ball.
That layup won't go. Finger roll by James off the glass, and quickly looking to push is Edmonds. Couldn't finish, and the rebound goes to Hearns. Long outlet up the floor is too long, and that will be a Spartans turnover. But looking at the numbers for Edmonds last season, Nick, I think the key for the Spartans is going to be to try and keep him beyond the arc. Shot just around 30% from 3 last year, so if you can keep him on the outside, you can limit the damage. That being said, he is a high-volume shooter. If you take a look at those field goal attempts, and it's a sloppy start for both teams, as that's going to be a foul against GCU.
I think they just called it out, Joe.
Well, I thought for
I
sure
thought for
there
sure
should
it
have
was
been.
too.
Yeah.
It looked like he held them on the way he was going out of bounds.
Well, the reason I assumed it had to be a foul is because the ball, last touch stat, there was what I thought was a foul, and then the ball was dropped off of the Spartan laying along the baseline. But
when we have a stoppage, I'll show you exactly what I saw, because I did see I thought they were going to call a foul too.
That jumper short, but on the offensive glass, Hearns follows with the finger roll.
Nice shot by Hearns right there to get the first points of this game, and they get an immediate turnover.
We have seen a lot of those early in this game as that shot rattles in. I thought there may have been a grab of the net or the rim when that shot was on its way up.
Green, a returner from last season's team, did not really start a lot of games last season, but with the departures of a lot of their key players, now gets his opportunity this season.
Just trying to locate our live stats, and once again, I'm going to have to find the link elsewhere, Nick. It is showing us the third game. As that three-pointer rattles in and out. That attempt by Jason Santucci. Hearns, turnaround jumper. No good. Last touched by the Spartans. Nick, early on, this game shaping up a bit like our first game. The Lions have been forced into some early turnovers. Things not easy for them around the rim. Spartans have forced some tough shots, and we've seen this stack pressure against the Dolphins before, and if you're not careful, it can become stifling very quickly.
Yeah, you can see immediately right there. But how about the passing of Georgian court as they'll get a foul?
Hearns commits the foul as Lane went up to dunk.
So here's what I saw on that play out of bounds. And I don't know if you're going to see it on the end, but it looks like he grabbed him for a second while they were out of bounds. I thought maybe that's where they were going to call the foul.
Well,
initially.
Yeah,
but nothing was there.
I thought Rivera ran into him and forced him out. But if there's no foul, Rivera dropped the ball right on top of the Spartans player. Didn't catch who it was, as we get one more look at that last whistle and foul on the attempted dunk by Amar Lane. His first free throw no good. It remains 4-0 Spartans. One more here for Lane. That one off back iron and rebounded by Joshua Michigan.
Lions still in search of their first points of this season.
Bounce pass feed inside. Jordan Green draws the foul. And you mentioned it, Nick. He's among those returners that could very well assume a bigger role for the Spartans this year.
I believe just averaged just around the 3.5 points per game mark last season. So he's one of those guys that wants to make the most of this opportunity. You know, going into his senior season, can he make the most of it now by getting into the starting line to start the season?
Among returners, only Derek James appeared in more games last year than Jordan Green. Just one start for Green last year. James started 31 of his 32 appearances. So for Green, spot in the starting lineup, new territory outside of that one game last year. Spartans now lead by 6 after a pair of Green free throws, and they continue to apply pressure. Cam Waters in the game for the Lions, and Rivera sends it cross court. Waters wastes no time, a bit long on the three, and the Spartans look to push across half court. Open shot, Hearns. And he does not get the roll. It's tipped toward the Lions bench and saved.
Great save by James right there. It was not easy.
James looking inside toward Green, and he draws a foul on the entry pass. No basket.
And you can see it early on, Joe. They're feeding Green inside of the paint. They feel as if they have that mismatch inside of the paint as he gets another foul drawn in this game.
Third team foul against the Lions, and we mentioned in game one how important free throw shooting was in keeping the Griffins close. Trailing already by 6 without a basket. An early bonus could spell trouble for the Lions as Michigan banks it in off the spin move.
Beautiful spin move right there by Michigan. Another turnover forced.
And Michigan gets it to go. Timeout GCU as the Spartans are out to an early 10-point lead.
Yeah, Michigan with a great sequence right here, Joe. As before we go to the break, we'll see the 2 buckets he gets. He first gets a beautiful spin move to get the bucket, to put them up 8. And then right after that, you'll see the ensuing inbound pass, trouble on that full court press, quick turnover, another tough basket. Puts his team up 10 going into this timeout.
And how about the save and assist by Hearns in that play as well, keeping that in along the baseline and cutting Michigan on his way to the basket for the easy 2, or perhaps not so easy given the role it took to put that one in. But Nick, any time that you see a team score twice in the span of one replay, that spells a lot of trouble for the other side.
Yeah.
And right now, the Lions are succumbing to that Spartans pressure, and you never really know what a team's offense is going to look like over the course of 40 minutes until they can break that press and get into their half-court set with some time up there on the shot clock. And so far, the Lions have been pressured out of a comfortable state offensively, really haven't been able to get into their half-court offense quickly on any possessions, and see if they can change that here.
Yeah, they've got to figure out a way to get the ball up the court because that was the problem Chestnut Hill had in game number 1. That full court press was really tough for the Griffins in that first game.
Right now, a lid on that basket for the Lions. That three-pointer in and out by Edmonds. Hearns to the rim, and the floater will not go. Rebound pulled in by Broswell Brown. Miles White with the floater, and that will not go.
Everything just rolling out of the rim right now for the Lions. They can't buy a bucket.
Those last 2 looks were pretty good ones. Just couldn't get them to go down as they nearly force a turnover, and Hearns able to keep his feet in. James up the floor, nearly threw it away, and
look out.
So do I get up and fix that?
No,
and Angie's got it.
Yeah.
Angie's got it.
Joe, what have you been saying since soccer? Not my problem.
You're not supposed to say that on the air, Nick. But yes, Nick, I'm no longer in charge of the entire operation, just the live stream. That is technically not my problem, as Rivera comes away with the steal and the lay-in to make it a 6-point game.
I could have swore you said on a soccer broadcast at one point.
Did I? Did I say 6-point game as well, Nick? I meant 8-point game.
Yeah.
I did. They got those points up there quickly. Did they assume the made basket? This is Michigan again, and I think they called an offensive foul, or perhaps sent this to immediate timeout. Really tough to tell. And it was a blocking foul underneath.
Foul, yep.
That will send us to our 16-minute media timeout. 15:36 to go in the first half. It's an 8-point lead for the Spartans. They're on top of Georgian Court, 10-2. And we are back from the tank with just about 4.5 minutes gone by in this first half. It is an 8-point lead for St. Thomas Aquinas over Georgian Court. 10-2 Spartans on top of the Lions as Joshua Michigan heads to the free throw line.
Michigan already with 4 points in this first half. We're going to get 6 with this free throw coming up.
First free throw by Michigan, no good. And it's an 0-for-2 trip to the line that ends in an offensive rebound. Jamal Hicks Jr. grabs the offensive board, and the Spartans get back to work with 10 to shoot. Hicks Jr. was rejected. And here come the Lions back the other way. Kick it to the corner, back outside. Waters back to the basket. And Rivera traveled.
Well, that's tough for the Lions right there, Joe. They got the nice block on one end, but we're not able to get any points on the other side of things as they turn it over on that travel.
At the defensive end, it was Tess Ujebe with the rejection. And Nick, we have live stats.
There we go.
Spartans have possession meanwhile, inside of 20 to shoot and inside of 15 minutes to play in the half. Rivera kicks out. James for 3, he's short. And the Lions have the rebound. GCU has been able to string together some stops. They'll now look to string together some baskets.
Stepped on the baseline. Another turnover right there by Georgian Court. That played Chestnut Hill in the first game, and so far it's been plaguing the Lions in this one.
Spartans have it right back as both teams make some substitutions at that last horn. Panda Massey, floater, and a lot of contact results in a foul call.
It's now 5 on GCU in this half.
Well, I said it early, Nick. The way they started, early foul trouble was definitely a potential concern for them.
Did you lose the live stats?
Momentarily. They're working on it.
Okay.
They're working on it.
Okay.
We have the best crew over there.
Yes, we do.
Sam Flecker Silverman, our new SID. Congratulations to her. Just got married this past weekend. And, of course, our stats crew of Louis Matrone in a backwards cap. I don't know how he's getting away with that. And Joe Calabrese.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he got away with that.
I'm shocked.
I took my hat off just because.
We could probably get away with it because we're not on camera and we're at the broadcast desk. It's entirely different.
Yeah.
There's a long pass up the floor and a foul called after the Spartans get 2 points from the line. Kai Panda Massey drawing the contact and draining a pair of free throws. And I said it before, Nick, there seems like there's a lid on the basket at this end right now, and perhaps if you're the Lions, you can break that trend from the free throw line. And Edmonds is short on the free throw.
Edmonds last year, you look at the numbers too, Jay. You look at the free throw mark for Edmonds. He took over 230 free throws last season, 238 to be exact.
And Edmonds goes 1 for 2 from the line. It's now a 9-point game. GCU just 1 of 7 from the field. Stack only 4 of 11. As a whistle comes in for an offensive foul.
That was Perota on that foul.
Two teams also held without a three-pointer thus far.
Crushing Perota.
I was just checking the same thing, Nick.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure.
Brad at Stack always has a great pronunciation guide. My only gripe is that it's on the back side of the document.
Yes.
Yeah, back side of the document's tough. And it would be okay if it wasn't inverted.
Yeah.
But when you print those documents, it inverts. As a foul is called at the other end, I believe that one will go against Rivera.
And just like that, it went immediately. Think about this, Joe. The fouls went from 5-1 in favor of Stack. It's now 5-4. 3 straight fouls called on the Spartans.
Well, we saw it during the first game. Free throw shooting didn't exactly get the Griffins back in the game, but it certainly kept them in the game. Once that lead ballooned to 24, they began to chip away from the line, but never got any closer than 15. Meanwhile, Edmonds hits the first free throw. GCU now 2 of 5 from the line. And 2 of 6 now. Meanwhile, the Spartans are 4 of 6. Panda Massey off the crossover, couldn't find any room. Three-pointer on the way, off the mark by Brennan Chapman.
That was a nice heads-up play as well. Parada got the rebound and then threw it off the defender because he was about to go out of bounds.
The little things that the Spartans have done early in this game to buy them extra possessions have certainly paid off. And Rivera just never possessed the ball.
Yeah, he wildly threw that one trying to draw a foul.
Sterrell Hearns back in. He replaces Jamal Hicks Jr.
I think that's a good thing for Stack also. You know, talking about what they lost last season. This tournament helps them in a way kind of figure out early on who those guys are going to be looking towards the rest of the season and, you know, who's going to be the guy they want to be the number one option in scoring, what plays are going to work for these certain players. This is a good setup for them for the rest of the season.
12 to shoot for GCU. Lane to the rim, can't convert on the reverse layup, and jump ball was called. I thought initially 2 Spartans were tied up.
That would have been awkward.
Well, it looked like there were 2 sets of Spartan hands on that ball, and then one gave way to his teammate, and it resulted in the jump ball.
Possession arrow does go to the Spartans, so they will get the ball.
Spartans still lead by 8. It's been a low-scoring half thus far. And there's a takeaway for Cam Waters, and he will throw it down.
Emphatic jam right there by Waters.
That brings the GCU bench to life. It's now a 6-point game. And when you have a game early on that has seen the 2 teams combine for 9 turnovers, do you think it's more of a sloppy start, something we talked about during the pregame, or is it great defense?
I think on that play, you saw it. The ball not only was tipped to get the turnover, but it was initially tipped on the pass. And then it was Waters that was able to tip it away, force that fast break, and get the easy one-handed slam.
18 to shoot for the Spartans here. Panda Massey kicks out to an open Green. His jumper rims out, and the Lions control it. White double teamed. This is Waters now, defended by Panda Massey. Bounce pass inside, and Ajebe threw it off the foot of a Spartan defender. And did they call it a kick ball?
They did.
They did. And that looked like one of those where he just threw it off a leg.
He was looking for his man at the three-point line, but
yeah,
he got awarded the kick ball right there. So it stays in possession of the Lions here with 20 on the shot clock.
Given where he was, you'll take that. Waters sets his feet and can't hit from 3. Offensive board, and the lay-in is good by Jason Santucci.
That was a great board and a nice reverse layup by Santucci on that one, Joe.
On the drive, Panda Massey can't convert off the window. Rebound for Elijah Nix, and a tie-up just beyond half court with a foul called.
Yep.
on the Spartans. Chapman picks up the personal.
That will lead us to our next media timeout.
11:37 to go in half number one. What was once a 10-point deficit for the Lions has been trimmed down to 4. Our score, St. Thomas Aquinas 12 and Georgian Court 8. $11:37 to go in half number one from the tank. This is game 2 of 3 on the evening to open up our 2025 Tournament of Heroes. Spartans lead the Lions 12-8. And Nick, we mentioned it before the break, but it's been a bit of a sloppy start. I think we've seen a lot of early season sloppiness in this game. Of course, we know these two teams can defend. That being said, I think a bit of sloppiness in this game has ruled early on. A combined 10 turnovers between the two teams, and so far neither side has shot very well, just 27% for the Lions and 29% for the Spartans. And that one is short by Cam Waters.
Yeah, points have been tough to get by right now for these two teams.
This is Green looking to back inside, and his hook shot is good over Lane.
And I think out of all the players right now, Green's had the most success in terms of scoring. He's really been able to find himself inside the paint, and he's been taking advantage of the matchups he's gotten so far in this game.
Green now has 6, 2 for 4 from the field, 2 for 2 from the line. Nix inside, gets the finger roll to go.
Tough bucket right there for Nix. It's been a lot of tough buckets we've seen so far in these first 2 games.
Panda Massey working against a much bigger defender. Had to give it up. 14 to shoot now. Hearns into the corner. Michigan. No good from 3. Another offensive board, and Hearns banks it in.
Hearns once again getting the offensive rebound and again makes the most of it. Gets the putback to put them back up by 6.
For the Spartans, that is their 5th offensive rebound. They've been all over the offensive glass early in this game as that rattles out for Waters. Landrum, the second bounce pass across half court to Panda Massey. Feed inside and off the window. A quick basket for Landrum the second.
It was an immediate reaction from Landrum the second to go up with that shot.
Well, he made the pass to Panda Massey and then sprinted up the floor, got in position and scored. Meanwhile, GCU with a quick possession. That ends in a miss. And now Panda Massey to the rim, gets the lay-in. Timeout Lions, and once again, it's a double-digit Spartans lead.
And it was just in the blink of an eye, Joe, that Stack just did this last possession in terms of scoring, this little spurt. And we'll see the last of those 2 points right here. It was a quick reaction right there by Panda Massey, seeing where the floor was and able to get past his defender. Could have maybe gotten an and one on the play, but instead does get the 2 and forces a timeout for the Lions.
Looked like he might have lost his footing on the way in, but a quick recovery and a quick score. It is the Spartans by 10, and with our media timeout about to come to an end, Nick, we will stay right here. But it looked like Georgian Court was very quickly working their way back into this one, threatening that Spartans lead, and very quickly Stack surging back ahead by double figures. It's a 6-0 run. What needs to change for GCU?
Well, Joe, we see it a lot in college basketball. We always talk about the game of runs, and that happens a lot. GCU got down 10 early. They got on their overrun to make it within 4. Now it's another stack run in this game to put them back up to their largest lead in this game by 10. So I think if you're Georgian court, you've got to find a way to limit the turnovers right now. That's been a problem for them. But another problem for them is that the shots really haven't been falling for them. A lot of the shots on the other side of the court have been pretty much about 50% in, 50% out. They haven't been able to fall in. They would love to get some shots going here after that timeout.
And there's a lot of bodies gathering at the rim there. Good defense by Green, maintained his verticality, and he ended up sending a J-Bay shot out of bounds. But I think right now, Nick, if you're the Lions, you take 50% in and 50% out. They're just 4 of 15. And a couple of those have been about halfway down. That pull-up jumper way too strong by Donovan Crawford. And GCU going with a different unit out there right now, trying to swing this game back in their direction. Just over 9 minutes to play in the half. This is Hearns. Now Landrum the second. Outside for James. 12 on the shot clock. Big crossover by James. Turnaround jumper. Air ball. And it's thrown away by the Spartans. So that will go down as another offensive board. Lane won't go, and cleaning that up is a J-Bay with the dunk.
Well, with his 6'10 size, Joe, that was going to be the easiest rebound he'll get and get that easy dunk.
Hearns with the shot fake. Steps back and sends it off the back rim. Rivera for Crawford into the corner. Edmonds to the rim. And a blocking foul is called underneath. So the Lions will get back to the free throw line where they're just 2 of 6. And they'll have a chance to make this a 6-point game again.
And Edmonds will be going up for the 3rd time as well in this first half. It'll be number 5 and 6 for him at the free throw line.
Edmonds thus far with just a couple of points, both coming from the stripe. And his first free throw is good.
And I think that's where another thing, too, is where Georgia Court needs to take advantage of. The shots aren't falling. If they can get to the free throw line and get those to fall, then they can get back into this game. But they've been on and off so far at the line so far.
Second free throw from Edmonds on the way, and that is good. The lead cut down to 6 again. Elijah Nix checks in. James will bring it up. It's defended by Nix, and his floater is good.
That was a thing of beauty right there by James with that floater.
He had Nix all over him as he approached half court and used that to his advantage. Gained the step, used his body to shield off the defender from behind, and buried the floater. And Nix answers back with a 3.
And how big of that was that one right there for Georgia Court to get that 3, finally get a shot on the outside to go in.
Under 8 minutes to go in the half. It's a 5-point game. And 3 free throws coming up for the Spartans as Landrum II was fouled beyond the arc.
Yeah, and that's one you can't have happen. You just got a 3-pointer on the other side. Now you give up 3 free throws upcoming after the media timeout, and they put Stack as well into the bonus.
So with 7:52 on the clock, we head to a media timeout. It's a 5-point lead for the Spartans over the Lions in this Game 2 of our 2025 Tournament of Heroes. 7:52 to go here in this first half. Spartans lead 22-17 over the Lions of Georgian Court University. This game 2 of 3 on the night here at the College of Staten Island. Joe Foreman on the call alongside Nicholas Pavona. For game 3, we are joined by our CSI Sportsnet colleague and Director of Social Media at the College of Staten Island, Nick Durst.
Yeah, we'll be hearing some inside interviews as well that he had with the team, that being the Dolphins, earlier this week. So be sure to tune on in for that pregame coverage as we get to talk about the game that we'll have in our final game of the day, as well as talk about the ceremony that will take place afterwards.
Landrum the second, 1 of 2 on his first 2 attempts from the line. He has one more coming here after he was fouled on a 3-point attempt. 2 for 3 for Landrum the second. The lead for the Spartans now 7. And the Lions nearly turned it over off the inbound. And Nick, here comes the press, and immediately it forces a turnover. Michigan can't finish. The tip-in no good. And the second try on the tip won't go. Third try rejected on the floater. Wow.
I feel for the stats test right now, having to stat that one.
Good luck, Lou and Joe. Oh, my goodness. And Michigan lays it in.
What a sequence that was.
Lou and Joe are unflappable. Look at them over there. They are dialed in. Long pass up the floor. Santucci lays it in.
My head would have been spinning by that point after the first or second offensive rebound.
The question is, would you and I have gotten it in one try?
Yeah, we were good.
There's no football on today. I would have gotten it. That turnaround jumper is short. And the joke there is typically I've been called into stats duty on Sunday. Those days are done now, but let's just say when I'm called into stats duty on a Sunday, we have a live stream on, and it's not the game. 3-pointer on the way. That's short. Rebounded by Gonzalez, and a foul is called against Cam Waters.
Get to wake up early on Sunday this week and watch the football before we come back here for the final day of the Women's Conference Challenge.
Our first game on Sunday is at 1, right?
Yes. Tough.
Let's just say this monitor in between us today, Nick,
Well,
might have NFL Red Zone.
it won't be used for replays.
No. I'm nothing if not honest when I put the headset on.
Busiest time of the year.
We don't have many Sunday games, thankfully. I have to admit, Sundays are tough.
Now, I think I've asked this already. We have Super Bowl Sunday, don't we?
So I think this will mark either the 3rd straight year or the second time in 3 years.
I think it's the second in 3 years.
Second in 3 years,
Yeah.
where we have hosted the Buffalo schools on Super Bowl Sunday.
They're hoping they're not in the Super Bowl, that being Buffalo. Be tough to watch.
That is true. That is tough. If you're a Bills fan from one of those Buffalo schools. A 1-and-1 at the line results in 2 points for the Spartans.
They have trouble inbounding the ball.
That was James who knocked down the pair of free throws. You said it, Nick. A lot of trouble with the inbounds. And there's a corner 3 that goes down for Donovan Crawford. That felt like a shot the Lions had to have.
It's that 1-2 connection of the Lions that they have with Crawford and Edmonds.
Tough shot, won't go off glass, and the rebound goes to GCU. And that's a risky pass, but the Lions keep it, and Crawford rattles in the pull-up.
The risk was rewardful right there for GCU. They make it a 4-point game right now on the ground. Let's see who that is. I think that is Daly. Correction.
That was James.
That's Eric James, yep.
And Nick, I'm going to say to you what my mother always said to me.
Don't assume?
No.
Okay.
No. Indoors, she always said, it's the floor, not the ground if you're inside. Do you agree or no? Because I made the same mistake as you many times, and I was conditioned.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
I think you have to say the floor, especially during a basketball game. If we're outdoors and it's turf, you could say ground. All of our fields outside are now turf, baseball, softball, and, of course, soccer. But those renovations well underway. Softball is complete. I don't think baseball is quite there yet as the Spartans give it away. And the lay-in is good by Don James Emo.
And Joe, I just spoke about it earlier. This has been a game of runs so far. Once again, Stack was up 10. It's now down to a 2-point lead.
And it happened very quickly, Nick. And I think the key to this run for GCU right now, it's a 7-0 spurt. Points in transition. And a couple of possessions back when Crawford knocked down the pull-up, it wasn't necessarily a pretty-looking transition chance. Pass was tipped. It was kept by GCU, as I think we lost the light to our left there. Free throw short on the front end of the 1-and-1, rebounded by Ajebe, and now the Lions have a chance to take the lead with a 3. And there it is. GCU in front, 29-28. It's now a 10-0 run for the Lions.
Crawford starting to heat up, too, from the outside. He scored the last 8.
He now has 8 points. And there's another rejection for Ajebe, followed by one more. A great defensive sequence for the freshman. And the runner is good by Santucci. Timeout, Spartans. Let's see that again, Nick.
I mean, it's really, really great job right there to get not 1, but 2 blocks. We'll see right here first. Here comes the first block. If they get the offensive rebound, even better, second block. That will lead to the other side of the court, leading to a tough bucket. And now, all of a sudden, Joe, a 10-point deficit has turned to a 3-point lead for the Lions.
Well, that was a really impressive offensive sequence. And a timeout will send us to a 30-second break. We'll be right back. And we are back from the tank. And Nick just got a text from men's basketball head coach TJ Tibbs. His mother taught him the same thing as me. Okay. Indoors, it is the floor, as Ajebe has another rejection. And Santucci has the finger roll.
Stack called that timeout to stop the run, and they haven't been able to do that. Another block, and then leading to another bucket on the other side.
And Ajebe, a bit overzealous there. He now has 4 blocks in this game, 2 coming on the 1 possession. He added 1 more out of the timeout. And the Spartans, early in this game, have already attempted 12 free throws. They're 8 of 12. And they are now in the double bonus. First free throw good. This is Jamal Hicks Jr. at the line.
Ajebe giving the Lions some great minutes right there as he goes to the bench, but it's a big reason why, no pun intended for me saying big reason, but he is a huge reason why they now lead by 3.
Spartans pressuring, but not quite the same as they were before. Edmonds on the pull-up. Rattles it in.
And that's a shot you can't allow him to have, Joe.
Well,
that's one that he pretty much finds to be the perfect spot for him on this court.
Well, Nick, if it wasn't clear by now, the lid has come off that basket. The Lions are now closing in on 50% shooting. Spartans are now 10 of 30 from the field. Feed inside, and an easy 2 for Igor Gonzalez.
And they really needed that. The Spartans were really struggling to find any type of points this last couple of minutes.
Santucci on the pull-up. No good. The way shots have been falling, you're almost shocked to see that one miss. All tied up inside was Hicks Jr., and the attempted putback by Rivera, no good. Lane was trapped between a couple of defenders, and now the Lions have numbers. Edmonds draws the foul. And inside of 4 minutes, we head to our final media timeout of the first half. Our score, GCU 35 and Stack 32. 3:35 to play until halftime. And we are back from the College of Staten Island with just over 3.5 minutes to play until halftime. And Nick, the Lions have come surging back. They trailed by double figures in this game. They now lead it by 3. What's been key in this turnaround?
It's been the defense of this Lions team. They're really forcing a lot of errant shots by the Spartans. Ajay, when he was in the game, was getting a couple of big blocks, and they're now starting to get to the free throw line as well.
Edmonds at the line here for GCU. His first free throw is good.
And also got to talk about Santucci as well, Joe. He had a nice little spurt, too, to get them back the lead.
Edmonds with that last free throw has 9. Give him 10. Right behind him for GCU is Santucci with 8. Make it 9 for Edmonds. At least I thought so. The live stats are playing tricks on me, Nick, as that shot won't go. Sometimes Lou and Joe are just so quick that I don't even look down in time.
Speaking of quick.
Yeah.
Blink and you'll miss him.
Blink and you'll miss Cameron Edmonds with that lay-in. And the lead for the Lions is now 7. And there's another Stack turnover. Edmonds for 3. No good.
That's one of those proverbial heat checks right there that he took right there.
Well, that would have made it a double-digit lead. Spartans now with just 10 to shoot. They have it way beyond the arc. Rivera with 5 on the shot clock, had it poked away. It's stripped. It's still loose. And a shot clock violation. How about the turnaround in this game for GCU? Their defense really igniting their offense for much of this first half. As you get one more look at that move by Edmonds.
Yeah, and this is really inspiring if you're a GCU fan that you've seen this team's defense really improve these last couple minutes. You've seen it for Stack. They haven't really had a lot of clean looks these last 5 to 10 minutes. And that's been a big reason why GCU has been able to get back into this game. Their defense is starting to pick up the intensity, and they're getting some good looks as well offensively as well.
Kick into the corner for an open 3, but
Step in the line.
I think White had his foot out of bounds.
Stack could really use a bucket right here, Joe. These last few minutes have just really not gone their way.
The deficit is 7 with just over 2 minutes to go in the half. This is Green now. Backing in, steps back, and buries the jumper.
And you saw it again, Green backing up on his defender and was able to get the pull-up jumper on that one. He's been very efficient so far in this first half.
That ended a nearly 2-minute scoreless drought for Stack. The run for GCU before that basket was 20-4. And they have turned what was once a double-digit deficit into a 5-point lead. 10 on the shot clock. Edmonds to the rim. Draws the foul.
Edmonds once again going to the free throw line. Able to draw that foul. Another tough move to the bucket for him on that one. There's 3 defenders in that area pretty much for Stack on that play. But he goes to the line once again.
At the line for Georgian court, number 2, Cameron Atkins.
What will this be? 11 and 12 for him maybe at the free throw line, or is my math off?
I had a message from the text over at Flo. I was checking in on Nick, but
Okay.
for free throw attempts, it is going to be 9 and 10 for
9
Edmonds.
and 10. I was 2 ahead. Here's a look at the move that he got to get these free throws.
Turning for St. Thomas Aquinas, number 5, Brennan Chapman.
So from the line, Edmonds hits the first. So, Nick, if you notice that I'm not speaking for an extended period, you could just hop right in and take over.
Got it.
That free throw short. I think we're good right now. I think I had an old message that came up on the screen, and now it disappeared. I'm not exactly sure where it came from.
Okay.
It might have been a message in somebody else's thread that populated, but it appears all is well with the stream. If not, they'll let me know. Right now, it's Pandamasi with it. Gives it up to Green, and a blocking foul is called with 4 on the shot clock. Double bonus for Stack.
Yep. They were just able to get that foul call right there. So Green will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. We're going to try to cut this deficit to within 4.
At the line, St. Thomas Aquinas, number 8, Jordan Green.
And the free throw attempt by Green is good. Stack now 11 of 15 from the line. GCU 7 of 12. Big difference has been the shooting. As that free throw is no good. The line's at 47%, Stack down at 34. You could make the case that they're fortunate to be trailing by only 5. And they got off to a great start.
Right.
The Lions are now winning the turnover battle as well after those were piling up on them early in the game. That's a 2-pointer off the rim, no good. Bit short on the attempt by Edmonds. Shot fake in the corner and kick out to Pandamasi. He's given up his dribble and he travels.
Try to draw the foul on that one, but lost his footing for a second, and then when he went back up, he travels on the play. So GCU will have an opportunity here to get the last shot up in this first half.
28.2 before halftime, and a long inbounds pass for Edmonds, and an easy lay-in.
Can't be much easier than that off the inbound.
Press will do that to you sometimes. An offensive player gets behind you, you don't pick him up, and by the time you see him, it's too late. The lead is 7 for GCU. Pandamasi, top of the arc, has Lane on him now. Again, picks up his dribble and throws up a wild shot. That had no chance.
That looks similar to the previous possession he had the last time.
Was just able to keep that pivot foot anchored enough for the officials' liking, and that will send us to halftime. Our score at the break, GCU 42, Stack 35. When we come back, half number 2 in this second game of our 2025 Men's Basketball Tournament of Heroes from the College of Staten Island.
We've learned a lot from him, and we've probably learned more from him than he's learned from us.
I think they're a real important part in my life. can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team Impact is a national nonprofit that connects kids living with serious and chronic illness with college athletic teams, forming lifelong bonds and life-changing outcomes.
Can I have a hug? What's your favorite subject?
Math.
When you spread the word about Team Impact, you have the power to change lives.
You know I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank as we get set to begin the second half between Georgian Court University and St. Thomas Aquinas College. Early in this one, the Spartans jumped out to a double-digit lead in the opening minutes, but Nick, after that, the Lions responded in a big way. Their shooting efficiency went through the roof after the opening minutes where they couldn't buy a basket. They cut away their turnovers, which really hurt them early, and they picked up their defensive aggressiveness and forced the Spartans into 9 first-half turnovers. They entered the second half leading by 7.
Yeah, they went from, not buying any bucket to cashing in on every single opportunity they possibly could get to end that first half. Their defense really stepped it up in the last few minutes of that first half. We talked about Ajay and what he did defensively, a couple big blocks in that half to spark that rally. And now, Joe, the question is going to be, can they keep this up here in the second half, trying to get their first win of the season?
Lions will possess it first to begin half number 2. 20 minutes up on the clock. Rivera with it, well beyond the arc, gives it up quickly This is Crawford, who had a nice half.
A couple big three-pointers in that first half.
He's 3 of 5, 2 for 2 from downtown, 8 points. He'll try from 3 here and knock it down.
Crawford now 3 for 3 at the three-point line.
Feed inside, and it ended up nearly traveling out of bounds. A foul was called against GCU.
And I think for GCU, Joe, the thing that they have to avoid in the second half is not allowing Stack to get the free throw line. If they allow Stack to get that the line, then it could be troubling for them. Just as troubling as that microphone.
I don't blame the microphone, Nick.
I know.
As that three-pointer short from the corner, fight for the rebound, and Edmonds secures it.
Double-digit deficit now is turned into a double-digit lead for the Lions. They're looking to add on some more.
Spartans in this game have led by as many as 10, now trail by 10, a full 20-point swing. That 10-point lead came at the 9:37 mark.
They had two instances of that first half where they were up 10 points. And of course, the opening sequence, they were up 10-0 early in this game, and since then, they got another 10-point lead, and now they trail by 10. Got to find a way to get some buckets here.
Michigan well beyond the arc. Gives it up to Hearns. Hearns, free throw line, floater. Off the back rim, and offensive interference is the call on that one. I'm shocked he was able to get a shot off.
I was amazed as well.
That is about as high arcing a floater as you will see. And was able to get it up and over a couple of defenders. But to the point we've made more than once already, Nick, the Lions have made life very difficult, and they make life difficult on themselves there with a turnover and an easy 2.
And Joe, that's how they got to a 10-0 lead early in this game. That full court press leading to a quick turnover, leading to quick points.
Well, at times the Spartans, there's a nice finish by Edmonds. He's fired up. But at times, Nick, they've looked to only press and have not brought that second defender. When they've really looked to trap and they brought that second defender over, it seems to be giving the Lions some trouble. As that one's no good, high off the window, rebound Michigan. And he thought he was fouled, does not get the call. It will stay Spartans basketball with 19 to shoot.
How about that bucket right there by Edmonds? Not the easiest one to get. He was able to draw it in.
Michigan on the pull-up. Buries it.
Michigan's been one of the bright spots for the Spartans lineup here tonight.
For a team that's shooting just 33%, Michigan is now 5 of 7.
Ian Green, I believe, have accounted for the majority of the points tonight for the Spartans.
They've combined for 19 on 8 of 12. The rest of the Spartans, Nick, are just 6 of 28. Three-pointer, no good by Crawford.
I was going to say, there should be an over the back right there. And
foul underneath. Spartans, Nick, have 39 points. As I mentioned, Green and Michigan have combined for 19 of those. So 20 points remaining. 11 of those 20 have come from the free throw line. It is Spartans ball here with just over 17 minutes to play in the half. And a Massey short pass over to Hearns. Now Michigan defended by Santucci, looking for some room, and throws one up off the fake and puts it in.
How about that?
How about that?
How many times did he spin around?
That was mastery, maintaining the pivot foot as the Lions turn it over. Panda Massey finds some room and finds Michigan cutting back door.
A great cut by Michigan, and once again, Joe, it's a turnover that leads to points.
I'm a bit surprised GCU didn't call timeout off of that basket, Nick.
Do have the media coming up as well.
And Edmonds is fouled.
I think it comes down to you trusting your players to stop this rally, but with the media also coming up, they don't maybe want to waste it right now. Keep in mind, Joe, they only have 2 timeouts remaining in this game. So that might be a reason why they didn't call.
Point. That's a good point. That early surge by Stack to go ahead by 10 really made it seem like this game could end up much like the first, where Stack builds the early lead, you force your opponent to play from behind, and they never quite make it up. But they got ahead so early that the Lions were able to recover, as that three-pointer is no good by Waters.
Now the Lions started to get cold early on this half.
The Lions still shooting around the 47-48% mark where they ended the first half. They're 2 of 4 from the field here in half number 2, but Stack has gotten their field goal percentage up just a bit. They began the half at around 33%. They're up at 38 now. 4 of 6 to begin the second half. They were 12 of 36 at halftime. That one won't go, but the putback slam by Green has made it a 2-point game.
That was a ferocious dunk by Green on that putback.
Tough shot followed by an emphatic two-handed slam on the putback by Jordan Green. It is now a 2-point GCU lead.
Game of runs continues.
And Rivera answers back at the other end. Big basket there for Rivera. Here comes Panda Massey to the rim. Good body control and a finger roll to make it a 2-point game again.
How in the world did Massey get that one up?
Look at that outlet pass and the one-handed slam.
Points
Cam Waters.
Flying.
Take flight, Cam Waters. Panda Massey met, working his way inside, and foul was called before the shot attempt. And that will send us to immediate timeout. A much-needed breather for the players, Nick, and perhaps for us as well.
Yeah.
Here's a look at the putback slam by Jordan Green. That made it a 2-point game. The Lions' lead is now 4 with 15:05 to play. And how about one more slam to send us to break? That's Cam Waters. 51-47 our score. .05 to go in the second half from the tank. GCU over Stack 51-47. And Nick, Stack has come out here in the second half and played much better than they did late in the first half. They cut the GCU lead to just 2 points, but the Lions, so far, have kept in front, now leading by 4 points.
I thought I was at the All-Star game the last couple of minutes with the slam dunks that we had these last couple of minutes from these two teams.
We have a fresh new bolt in the backboard to our left, shoring things up before the season began about a week or so ago.
They're getting put to the test here tonight.
Rivera.
Look out.
And offensive foul is the call.
Hopefully Rivera is okay. That was a nasty fall he took.
That's one of those where I think he was just taking his time. I think it was a combination of maybe being a bit shaken up by the fall, but more exasperated with that call going against him.
Back to that full court press.
And the Lions do well to navigate it, as the lay-in is good by James Imo.
Good job by the Lions right there, exposing that weakness in that full court press.
Now, would you say, Nick, emo or IMO? IMO. I said emo earlier. I glanced down and said IMO. It's got to be emo, right?
I think it's emo, yeah.
Yeah. Shame on me.
Not that type of emo, but.
5 to shoot now. Time running out on the Spartans. Fadeaway jumper off back iron by Hicks Jr. and a foul was called in pursuit of that rebound. We will stay right here. So a fresh 20 on the shot clock for Stack.
J-Bay now comes back in.
Rivera left wide open and can't make the Lions pay, but another offensive board for the Spartans goes to Parada. Stack now with 11 offensive boards in this game. 12 second chance points as well as a foul is called near the top of the arc.
I feel like the big reason why Stack's still in this game, Joe, is that early spurt where they got a lot of turnovers for us. The turnovers and the offensive glass has been a big reason why they're still in this one.
They're a +8 in second chance points and a +4 in terms of points from the free throw line. Without that differential in those two areas, could be a very different looking game as the floater's no good by Parada and a strong rebound by Ajebe.
They're one foul away from being in the bonus too.
And that's very notable with over 13 and a half to play. GCU leading by 6 and a chance to extend that lead right here. Crawford surveys the floor, uses the screen from Ajebe and gets the easy 2.
And I like what he did there, Joe, because 2 times on that play, it looked like maybe he was going to pull up for a 3. He hesitated both times and was able to drive in easily for the lay-in.
Rivera picks up his dribble, kicks it outside to Hicks Jr. Chapman swings it for Rivera. 10 on the shot clock, bounce past Gonzalez, and he is rejected, but White, or I should say Waters, landed out of bounds.
Checking in for St. Thomas One is number 8, Jordan Green, for Georgian Court, number 11, Jason Santucci.
8 to shoot as we get one more look at that rejection. Waters got that one on the way down.
It's been a slam dunk contest as well as a block party in this game.
J-Bay with 4. He had that sequence with 3 in a couple of minutes. And Rivera does a good job to avoid the contest, but couldn't knock down the tough shot. Crawford defended by Green. J-Bay comes up to set a screen, and they give it up to Edmonds. Edmonds working inside is rejected by Green. Left with 5 to shoot.
Nice job by Green protecting the paint right there. Again, that rejection, as you mentioned, 5 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Inbound from the baseline, thrown up toward Santucci. They secure it, and the three-pointer is good just ahead of the shot clock expiring.
Sometimes it's those broken plays that get the job done. They were trying for the inbound pass alley-oop, but instead they get a three-pointer.
Santucci was doubled on that attempted alley-oop off the inbound, and the man left open was Donovan Crawford. He knocks down the 3. It's now an 11-point lead for GCU, and make it 9 off the finish by Green.
A much-needed basket right there for Stack by Green. Once again, down double digits. They make it now a 9-point game.
Green now has 13. Michigan leads the way for Stack with 14. Santucci now kicks out. Crawford for 3. Short off the front rim, rebounded by Green. And Rivera is fouled. White picks up the personal, and Nick.
They're in the bonus.
It's 1-and-1 bonus time when we come back from this media timeout. 11:26 to go in the second half. The lead for GCU is 9. Stack heads to the line when we come back as we get one more look at that rejection by Jordan Green.
Foul.
11:26 to go here in the second half. GCU over Stack 58-49. Free throws coming up for the Spartans as well. Cairo Rivera to the stripe. Free throws 17 and 18 in the game for the Spartans.
It's something that we pointed out before we went to break, Joe. Stack is now in the bonus for the remainder of this half.
And Rivera knocks down the front end of the 1-and-1.
Another light went out.
You know, it almost seems like
right by the
that
scoreboard.
light is on a timer. Because it
Yeah.
went out earlier, it comes back, goes again. And that second free throw rattles in. Friendly bounce for Rivera. And the lead for GCU is back down to 7. And Nick, we saw this a bit earlier. Came out of a timeout and got very aggressive on the press. See if the Spartans do that again.
You can see it already, Joe. They are certainly
Yeah.
getting aggressive, and it worked.
Yep. This happened out of another timeout earlier in the game, and this time they get a 3 out of it. Brennan Chapman from downtown, and very quickly it's a 4-point lead for GCU.
Every single player on that possession was covered, leading to the turnover and leading to a quick 3. A 5-point possession, or 2 possessions they got. It's now a 4-point game.
It's a bit surprising to see it out of the timeout where the Lions have struggled with the inbound. But you said it, Nick. 5 quick points, 2 from the line plus the 3 off the turnover. And there's a nice move by White to get to the rim.
Much needed points right there for GCU after allowing those quick 5. It's back up to 6.
Every time Stack has made a push, gotten within a couple, maybe 2 possessions, GCU has had an answer. That's been the case for the first nearly 10 minutes of this second half. Another 3 on the way, and once again it's good by Chapman.
2 big threes, now making a 3-point game.
Back to a 1-possession score. Santucci with the runner, and that's good.
It's something I talked about earlier, Joe. This is why we love these tournaments, because the intensity of these last few minutes have been great, and right out cue, there's a turnover.
We made the point during the pregame, but every year the men's basketball program does a great job of bringing in top-tier teams during this tournament. And that goes all the way back to when they were in Division III. And when this was in a tournament format rather than a tip-off tournament format, which doesn't allow for a bracket-style tournament, but you knew back in the Division III days when it was bracket style, as once again the Lions turn it over. And here comes Michigan to the rim. Can't finish. Ball loose underneath, and a foul is called on the putback attempt. But my point, Nick, was going to be when the Dolphins won this tournament during the Division III era and it was bracket style, you know they earned it. Whoever won, you know they earned it because the talent was always top tier. And very often during the Division III days, there were programs that came in from cities across the country. And then even more impressive than that, those fans turned out.
Well, I think if you want to look at the lineage and history of this tournament, you can go on our website, CSI, and you'll be able to see the breakdown of each year of the tournament and who's participated in the tournament.
Courtesy of Dave, myself, and Sam, you're welcome. As once again, the Lions cough it up. Michigan kick out. 3-pointer on the way by Hearns, too strong. But another offensive board, this time by Chapman.
Chapman's been huge these last few minutes.
They have not been able to keep Stack off the offensive glass. Combine that with the turnovers, and a 4-point game could get a bit closer right here. Michigan with 5 to shoot. Throws one up off glass, no good. And this time GCU secures the rebound. Here comes Edmonds. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line is good. And it's back to a 6-point lead.
Can't ask for much more if you're Edmonds right there, Joe. Just easy 2-pointer on the pull-up jumper.
Every time Stack has gotten to within a possession or two, GCU has found an answer. And how about that for an answer? Jordan Green with another 2-handed slam. Timeout taken by the Spartans with 8:48 to go. And Nick, once again, it's a 4-point game. GCU over Stack 64-60.
And we'll see right here, Great give and go. Perfect pass underneath the rim and an easy dunk right there for Green. And we talked about Green's contributions to this game. He and Michigan have really kept this team afloat, but the last few minutes, it's been Chapman from the outside arc that's kept Stack now back to within 4 with about 8:48 to go in this game.
Well, we highlighted Green earlier as a player who potentially could assume a larger role, a player who appeared in 30 games last year but started just 1. You mentioned the scoring output for him didn't light up the scoreboard. Well, he's doing a great job tonight. He leads the Spartans with 15 points, and they're going to need players like Green, who are now assuming a larger role, to step up and play a bigger role this year, as this roster has had plenty of turnover, something we covered during the pregame.
Yeah, and I think, if you're Stack, this is why it's a beautiful thing to have a tournament like this, because you get to see early what players are working out at the end of the day, and then once we get later on in the season when we get to conference matchups, obviously with the Dolphins, they're looking to see what players might stand out for this Stack team. But if you're Stack and the other side of things, you're looking at it like this: find the players that are going to work for you the most, and what assortment of your lineup is going to be working for you after the rest of the season. We've seen some spurts out of Chapman, Michigan, and Green in this one, and we've been seeing some great play for the majority of this game on their defensive side. They've been doing a great job of their full court pressure. The question is going to be now, with 8:48 to go, can that prolong them to getting back into this game after 1 point trailing by 11? Can they take it back and win this game?
They have plenty of time to do just that. And we keep saying it, Nick, but coming out of the timeouts, Stack has really picked it up, especially with the intensity. And
I'd be very curious to see how they go after this next upcoming possession. Immediately after the timeout, GCU is going to be inbounding.
And that's just it, Nick. The intensity defending the inbounds coming out of timeouts.
And you can already see it, Joe.
It's been stifling for the Lions when they've been faced with that pressure coming out of the timeouts.
Look how close-knit they are to each player of the Lions on the court.
Yeah. Edmonds doubled, gets it away to Crawford. And the Lions now in transition to the rim are able to finish. Elijah Nix.
Nix has had a couple good buckets here tonight as well.
You have to think they were well prepared for that. It was executed well. That is something that was probably discussed during the timeout. Credit to GCU and the coaching staff as Green knocks down another jumper. GCU just can't shake these Spartans here in the second half. Stack staying within 2 possessions, have not trailed by more than 6 for quite a while. And Nick, the commentator's jinx strikes again.
And who else but Cam Edmonds? Haven't really said his name a lot here in the second half, but he gets a big 3 to put the backup 7.
And what did I say as we were about to get started, Nick? I think your best bet against him was to keep him beyond the arc. He was way beyond the arc that time, and he knocked down the 3.
That'll lead us to another media timeout.
We're inside of 8 minutes. Media timeout from the tank. Our score, GCU 69, Stack 62. .7:49 to go from the tank, and with that last 3 by Cam Edmonds, it's now a 7-point lead for GCU over St. Thomas Aquinas. And Nick, said it more than once already, every time Stack is pulled close within 1 or 2 possessions, GCU has had a response Spartans continuing to play from behind as we enter the final 8 minutes.
Yeah, and it's really been tough for Stack because you mentioned it. They've been getting within at least, 3 or 4 points, and they just have not been able to make it any less than that. Some big shots have been made by the Lions in this game. We just saw a big 3 by Edmonds to put them up 7. So we'll see how Stack responds after that media timeout.
They'll look to inbound here, and Panda Massey almost threw it away. It turns into an open 3 for William Landrum II.
Well, we've gone from a slam dunk contest to now a 3-point shootout.
Not sure we could have seen that coming, given the way this game started with the two teams struggling from the outside. There's a long heave for Edmonds, and he lays it in. Nix with the long assist, nearly the full length of the floor.
Must feel good to have the last name Nix and throw a football-like pass.
Yeah. Not quite the shortest first name and last name combo in league history.
Yeah.
Just over 7 minutes to go, 8 to shoot for the Spartans. Panda Massey to the rim, and he lays it in.
This has been a different half, Joe.
Watch out,
Look
Nick.
out.
And a turnover nearly turns into a second. Now, did you hear off of that make? Public addresser Anthony, 0. He did not say number 0.
But what I was going to get...
Steph knows.
What I was going to say is this half is so much different than the first half because the first half, both teams were struggling to score. Now both teams don't have a problem scoring whatsoever.
It was a very low-scoring start. We were 8 minutes in. It was 12-4.
Yeah.
Panda Massey to the rim, and he gets the roll through contact. Count it, and 1.
The last 2 buckets by Massey have been so impressive. Not the easiest lay-ins. That one getting an and 1, and he's a free throw away from making this a 1-point game.
Has great body control and really does a great job of shielding the defender away from contesting his shots until he's ready to shoot it. If you're caught on his left shoulder, you're going to have a tough time contesting that shot on the right side of the basket.
It's something to note now also, Joe. It's a 1-point game. GCU is a foul away from giving Stack the double bonus for the remainder of this second half.
That could be a major factor down the stretch as Stack commits their third-team foul. Or perhaps not?
You're right.
They did. Okay, because with the way the Spartans bench was applauding.
I think the applauding was, not a bad foul because it looked like GCU was trying to go up the court very quickly to try to get some points. So I think that was one where you're okay with giving up the foul because you're trying to slow down the momentum.
GCU again facing pressure around the half-court line. Nix is trapped. Gets it away. And a foul is drawn inside by Edmonds.
So Edmonds will go to the free throw line once again here tonight.
Foul on number 8, Jordan Green, his first, and St. Thomas Aquinas' 4th.
And the free throw is good by Edmonds.
Number 2, Cameron Edmonds. Checking for Georgian court, number 15, Anthony Rivera. And checking for St. Thomas Aquinas, number 24, Michael Barra.
Lead for GCU back to a pair. 6:24 to go. One more free throw here for Edmonds. And that's off back iron. Rebound pulled in. Lane snatches that board and draws a foul on the putback.
And just like that, that puts Stack now at 5 fouls. So GCU is closing in and getting themselves to the bonus as well.
Speaking of fouls, Nick, on the side of GCU, Nix has 4, Emo has 4, and for Stack, Hearns has 3. Rivera also has 3 for GCU as that free throw won't go for Lane.
And those are free throws that they really need right now. Stack's starting to creep back into this game. Cannot afford to not score points this remainder of this second half. And Joe, very familiar number we have left in the second half. Wrestling.
6:19.
Joe. You know.
I don't.
Mysterio.
Oh, 619.
There you go.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
I just go, you know.
I think Rey Mysterio was my favorite growing up.
Yeah. That's why I thought I tossed you an alley-oop on that one. And the game's tied.
Jordan Green will knot it up.
And he makes a great block on the other end.
Man, back and forth action. Can't even keep up, and that was last touched by GCU.
How about this play, Joe? You'll see it right here. Great block by Green. And it goes right off of one of the GCU players, giving Stack the possession. And they have a chance now to take back the lead. They've been trailing for the majority of this second half right here. Hearns on the drive. Kick it back out to Massey.
Panda Massey now swings it over to the wing. Hearns. 10 to shoot now. Spartans looking for their first lead of the half, as that will be 10 team fouls.
It's double bonus for the remaining 5:29 of this half. That's Waters' third foul now of this game. And it's Landrum the second going to the free throw line. Big free throws right here. Try to give Stack their first lead of this half. And indeed does the case. It's a 1-point lead now for the Spartans in this game.
And it took nearly 15 minutes in the second half, but the Spartans have finally gotten over that hump and now lead it again. Chance here to make it a 2-point game, and they do. Landrum the second knocks down a pair from the stripe, and with under 5.5 to go, we have a 74-72 game.
Once again, going to that press.
And the inbound was tipped. And Nick, as this game draws closer to a conclusion, I get the feeling that this press is going to become more and more of a problem.
Yeah, and I think for Crawford on that play, he had a guy open on the other side towards us, but he didn't see him, and he almost gave up the ball right there on the turnover.
Well, they have Michigan, who's 6'5", standing in front of the inbounder, as we just had our table knocked off its position there. That's not the first time an official has sprinted straight into the table.
Yeah, I'm aware.
It's not really that close to the black.
I don't know.
And the lay-in no good by Edmonds, grabs his own miss, and draws a foul.
He'll go back to the free throw line with a chance to tie the game.
And Nick, the Spartans were in such a good position in terms of fouls just a couple of minutes ago. They now have 6.
Yep.
Which is still fine position with 5 minutes to go, but they were nowhere near this mark about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Edmonds now 9 of 13 from the line tonight. As a team, GCU before that make was just 8 of 16. Spartans 17 of 23, and that's a difference maker. One more for Edmonds, and he ties the game. Five minutes to play, all tied at 74. We've been treated to a good one here in Game 2 of our 2025 Tournament of Heroes. And that shot rattles in for Sterrell Hearns.
Hearns was initially looking for somewhere to go and pass it, but they gave him enough space. He said, why not? He took the shot and got it in.
Came to a stop, quick look, pass fake, and an easy 2 on the jumper. Stack back in front by a pair. Edmonds with the ball in his hands. He swings it. Crawford, way off. Panda Massey across half court.
GCU's got to be careful. We talked about it. They're already in the double bonus.
Open 3 in the corner. Too strong. And a big rebound by Lane. He came soaring in. Lions looking to push. Open 3. Crawford. No good a second time. Rebound by Landrum the second.
Crawford would love to have that one back. Had a great look.
I thought for a moment Santucci might shoot it, but found the open Crawford as that's an air ball.
That definitely is a kick ball. That will lead to the last media timeout.
It will be our final media timeout of the second half with 3:46 to go. Our score, Stack in front, 76-74. .346 to go from the tank here on the campus of the College of Staten Island. Joe Foreman alongside Nicholas Bavona on the call for the second game of our 2025 Tournament of Heroes. Stack over GCU, 76-74. The Lions have it, trailing by a pair. They have not trailed by more than 2 here in the second half. This is Edmonds looking for room to drive. Instead takes the jumper and knocks it down.
He's able to create that separation and find the long 2 on that one to tie the game once again.
Panda Massey swings it over. Hearns now looked to kick out, nearly threw it away, and it is stolen. Initially tipped and eventually secured by GCU with just over 3 minutes to go. Edmonds, he's defended by Hearns, well beyond the arc. In the corner for 3, it is White, a bit strong, ball loose, brought in by Santucci, and he was stripped. Good defense by Michigan.
Michigan's been all over the place tonight on both sides of the court. A nice defensive play right there.
Panda Massey with the left off glass.
Another tough bucket by Massey in this game, Joe. He has had some tough ones in this one, and once again, a tough one right there. Puts his team now back up 2.
He has 13 on 5 made field goals. Just about every one of those has been in traffic. And here's one more look at the latest. Does such a good job shielding off defenders with his body, and when you can go up with either hand, it makes it that much more dangerous.
And keep in mind, 5'10" going up against a center on that play. Not an easy play for him.
5'10" going up on 6'8".
Yeah.
It's how well he uses his body to shield off the defender that makes that possible. Nick swings it over to Lane. 6 to shoot now, Santucci. He likes that runner, goes fade away, and comes up short. 2 minutes to go, 2-point game, Spartans basketball.
Nice job by Landrum, the second on that play, Joe, also, to get the box out. They were trying to get the offensive rebound off that miss.
Kick out for Hearns, right back to Panda Massey. Green has the mismatch. And he will go to work here in the post and one, count it. And I think, Nick, if you're going to commit a foul there, you have to commit it earlier and just send him to the line, because that's way too easy.
And this is something we've seen a lot in this game. Green has taken advantage of a lot of mismatches in this one. He had Edmonds on him the whole time, was able to get the contact, get the foul, and get the and one for a chance of a three-point play.
Green has been huge for the Spartans tonight. He now has 20. 8 of 10 from the field, 4 of 5 from the line, and the lead for Stack is a second half high 5 points, and you just can't afford to do that, Nick.
And guess what? That puts now GCU in the bonus.
Well, that's exactly why. You have a team right now that's struggling to find good shots, and you give them potentially a pair of free throws. Now, they have to convert on the front end of the 1-and-1.
It's going to be Edmonds once again.
GCU has attempted 18 free throws. Edmonds has attempted 14 of them. That free throw is good. That's a big one.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, he attempted 238 free throws last season. So he knows to find a way to get to the strike.
Second free throw on the way, and that is good. That's a big one. It makes it a one-possession game now. The lead for Stack is 3, and they have the ball.
GCU got to find a way to get a stop right here.
Hearns over to Michigan. 15 to shoot now. Pandamasi. Well beyond the arc, uses the green screen. Now has Lane on him again. And he gets inside and is rejected by Lane. 3 to shoot. Shot. Landrum the second. Did not hit the rim. And that is a shot clock violation. Meanwhile, it looks like Pandamasi might have rolled his ankle. Perhaps he cramped up.
Looks like he's checking the top of his foot.
Yeah, it looked like he was stretching out his calf. At first I thought he rolled his ankle, but it is Lions ball with 1:08 to play. Barring more offensive rebounds, you're likely to get 2 more possessions if you're GCU. No need to go into scramble mode here, just execute offensively.
It's now or never for GCU at this point in the game. Need some points at least on this possession.
They don't necessarily need a basket, trailing by just 3. This is Lane, defended by Green. 6 to shoot. Lane off the window, no good. Edmonds had it, and
jump ball.
Jump ball was called. Possession arrow to the Spartans. You have a 9-second differential between shot and game clock. You do not have to foul. And if you do, you don't want to do it too late.
Yeah. Got to find a way to get a good defensive stop right here. Then I would assume GCU will call a timeout, try to draw up something.
All too often you see a team execute defensively, get the offense in a tough spot, and then commit that foul late in the shot clock. You can't have that happen here.
It looked like initially they were trying to give up the foul. And they give it up.
Do. Yeah, they do. 9-second differential, and they commit the foul. Well, they didn't wait too long. They let them get it across the timeline and then fouled. And many coaches,
lost about 10 seconds.
Yeah, many coaches have the philosophy, put them at the line.
Big free throws for Hearns right here.
The thing is, 9 seconds isn't a huge differential. Each team with 2 timeouts, and there's a big free throw by Sterrell Hearns. I think if you get a miss here, you can go for the quick 2.
Right.
Theoretically, you could go for the quick 2 anyway, but that's a decision that will be made now. Doesn't look like GCU is geared up to take timeout. Maybe they wait until they cross half court. Knicks with it. And they'll play it out. Knicks. Floater. No good. And the Lions have to foul. Time running out here. They try and trap Pandamasi. And that pass was tipped with 16.2 on the clock.
Stack will take a timeout.
Well, If you're the Spartans here and you get this one in, you're going to be fouled. And from there, you can ice it with 2 free throws.
Yeah, it's really tough because on that possession, Joe, you saw Georgia Core was trying to get up to 2, maybe draw a foul on the play, but no whistle there. And I think that was a big, difference maker of the second half too. Stack got into the bonus pretty quickly in this second half, got into the double bonus to get themselves a chance to get to the free throw arc. And that's another reason why they've been able to fight back in this game. Free throws as well as forcing a couple turnovers earlier on in the second half have been a huge reason why they now lead by 5. And with an inbound pass that goes well, might prolong them to get the first win of the season.
The turnovers in this game, Nick, really tell a big story. You look at the turnover numbers, and it's not leaping off the page. 16 for Georgian Court and 14 for Stack. Relatively high, but that's not it. Early in the game, Stack had a lopsided advantage in the turnover battle. Then when we reached the second half, GCU gained that advantage, and now Stack has it back. So as the turnovers have swung against teams, so has this game. And we've seen that effectively from start to finish with just 16.2 to go.
Now, Joe, quick question before we go into this next inbound pass. For as a Dolphin, for the Dolphin fans that might be watching this game because consider that they're playing these two teams, what's the outlook for CSI against both of these teams? We're going to see Stack twice during the season, of course, with conference play. They'll take on GCU later on the season. What is the Dolphins' talking points looking at it as the outlook for the season goes?
Well, I think when you're facing Stack twice in a year, the game I mentioned last year, the Spartans finished really strong. I think if you're the Dolphins, you need to force Stack to play 40 consistent, strong minutes. And we've seen that there have been a lot of ups and downs for both of these teams in this game. And immediately they give the foul. Now, looking on the other side at what the Dolphins would need to do against GCU, I think effectively, from what we've seen in this game, you need to slow down Cam Edmonds, no question about it. But behind him, you have just one other player who scored more than 10 points in Donovan Crawford. So I think if you can slow down this team's top scorers and really force them to exert a lot of energy, getting the ball up, if you pressure a bit, and navigating that definitely takes a lot out of you. I think if you can force those players to work a bit without even trying to score, you put yourself in a pretty good position against this team down the line later this year. Meanwhile, Hearns missed the first free throw, and a timeout was taken by Georgian Court.
We call that in football icing the kicker.
Perhaps.
Icing the shooter.
Perhaps. And at the very least, it keeps them in the game for a bit longer, because if you make both of these free throws as Stack, the game is effectively over. 3-score game. However, it's now just a 2-score game, and GCU is still in it. This one's not over yet, but I think both of these teams deserve a lot of credit for battling back at times in this game. It's been a very entertaining one to call, and I'm not shy about saying it. Admittedly, a bit more entertaining than the first game. That was a double-digit game almost all the way through, but we have our pregame ceremony ahead of Game 3 coming up next, followed by the Dolphins and the Purple Knights. Of course, a game that, as the CSI commentators, you and I are very much looking forward to, but we thank the Stack and the GCU contingent who have tuned in for this one, especially those who have chosen to subscribe to Flow College for the first time in an effort to catch these games. We hope you've enjoyed the live stream.
Yeah, and we go into the second of 3 games here tonight, Joe. Of course, the next game will be next after this one, and then we'll go into the pregame ceremonies and everything like that. But as I talked about it earlier, getting to see this competition from all these teams in this tournament. We'll see the women's as well conference challenge take place tomorrow. Getting to see a lot of this action and getting to see an early look at these teams for not only for us, but for the fans that are watching either in person or via our streams. It's really a good telling point as to what you're going to expect from your teams as the season goes on, too.
14.7 to go. Sterrell Hearns at the line looking to make this a 6-point game. And he does just that. Now you need a 3 if you're the Lions, and the Spartans obviously know that. I think if you're Stack, priority number 1, just don't commit a foul behind the 3-point line.
Yep.
Here comes Edmonds, gets a good look, in and out. And the rebound by Hearns will wrap this one up with 6.9 to go. He will head to the line again, but the Spartans come from behind, down double digits during the second half for much of the half, Nick, or I should say at the very least, about at the midway point of the half. But once they overcame the double-digit deficit, they were on the heels of GCU for several minutes and haven't looked back since they broke through. Now leading by 6, can put this away with one more free throw.
Well, if you ask the Stack faithful, this was a hard-earned win for them in this game because they were down as many as 11 in the second half. A lot had to go their way to get back into it. They were able to get some fouls, get to the free throw line, but they had some big plays defensively as well, forcing a lot of turnovers off of that inbound pressure with the full court press. And they also made some big shots as well, too. You know, we'll talk about it a little bit after the game's over. But huge shots were made by Stack in the second half.
Well, they need one more free throw to lock it in, and they couldn't hit it. But GCU can't get the big 3 either. And that will wrap it up. It is the Spartans over the Lions, 84-78. And with that, we get set for Game 3 of our Night 1 here at the 2025 Tournament of Heroes. Dolphins and Purple Knights up next. It's a 6-point win for the Spartans over the Lions. We'll be back shortly, Nick. We have a quick turnaround ahead of our next game, and that's why we are abruptly signing off.
Yep.
Thank you to the fans of Stack and GCU for tuning in, fans of CSI and St. Michael's. We'll be back with you in just a few short minutes.